Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, we're continuing in Proverbs, and we're in that stretch of Proverbs that talks about wisdom, chachma in the Hebrew. It's the ability to see the world the way God sees it. It's not just knowledge, though it can contain and should contain knowledge, but it's perception. It's much deeper than simple knowledge. And it's not caught up in, biblically, it's not caught up in just human eyesight and human vision, because that fails us tremendously. But it's a godly perception of events, of priorities, of emotions. It's God's perception of this world. That's wisdom. Now, it's interesting because Proverbs chapter 9 offers something that's really notable to me. It starts out saying that wisdom's built this house, and it's a house that's all ready to go. It's got all the food you want. It's a big house. It's a sturdy house. It's got 7 pillars. It's got, all this freshly cut meat. And then it says that wisdom sends out people, young women actually, telling people, whoever is simple, in other words, someone we would still use the word a simpleton, someone that doesn't have wisdom, doesn't see the world the way God does. Whoever is simple, come on in. Turn into my house, wisdom says. You come to wisdom and let's change who you are. I really like this verse. I like the way it indicates that we may not have wisdom. We may not see things the way God does. We may get overwhelmed by the moment. We may get overwhelmed by the scares and frights of this world. We may not know what to do. We may not know where to turn. Our decision making may seem fuzzy. We may need to just drown our sorrows because we don't know what to do with them. No, wisdom says, you come to me and I'll help grow you. That's pretty cool. Now, if wisdom is seeing the world the way God sees it, and seeing our problems the way God sees them, then it makes sense why, as you're reading through Proverbs chapter 9, and it's giving you all of this data, that you get to verse 10, and it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. In other words, we start to see the world the way God sees it when we understand God better. Say, how's that the fear of the Lord? I thought the fear of the Lord's being scared of him. Well, it's not. That's not a scaredy cat fear of the Lord. It's a wholesome awe and respect and, yes, fear, recognizing the greatness of God. And so the more we understand the greatness of God and deeply appreciate it, the more we'll grow in seeing the world the way he does. In the New Testament, the writer James put it in a very incredibly positive way. He says, if you desire wisdom, ask God for it, and he'll give it to you. See, that's the nature of God. God's not trying to secret away his view of this world. He wants to give it and impart it to you and to me so that we're able to better live our lives. And we don't walk around like a simpleton in fear and panic. And that is your video thought for today. More tomorrow.